my name is Will Ellaby, and I'm the administrator of the Office of Reentry and Enterprise Development. I'm the enterprise development side of the Office of Reentry, and just want to share with you, I'm tasked with meeting with companies, meeting with businesses to hopefully garner a sense of hope for you men so that you're not going home wondering what are you going to do when you get home. We want to offer and we want to challenge you, and we want the best of the best involved in programming. So at this particular institution alone, we actually have 3 ventures that I think we're all proud of, and we hope to expand upon what we already have. So we're looking at an actual paving recycling program where you would be trained to be involved in paving, which is a very, very marketable job opportunity. We also have a connection with Damascus Staffing. They're based out of Cincinnati, and depending upon whether or not you're endorsed for a program, your name could potentially go to the owner of Damascus, and she could actually help you when you return to the Cincinnati area. So that's an opportunity. And as of last week, we have a really, really good opportunity. OPI Printing, it's a company out of the Lebanon area called JBM Envelope Company. So that's another opportunity. And I want to definitely say this, the staff, and of course the warden and his executive staff, they are doing so much to bring programming to this institution. So you all need to take advantage of these opportunities. If you walk into prison and you are minus a high school diploma or GED and you do nothing during your time at this institution, shame on you. And I mean that. You know, the onus is on everyone in here to do something so that you have an opportunity. The mission has changed for our agency. We don't want you to return. Hopefully that was never the mission for you to return, but if I didn't say it loud enough, we want you all to walk out with a marketable talent, and we want you to go to work and take care of your responsibilities because that's extremely important.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself just so you kind of understand where I'm coming from, and then I'll talk about the program. And then Monica over here is going to talk about how we integrate into a bigger center that offers a lot more stuff that even my organization can. I'm a college graduate, but prior to graduating, I flunked out of school with a .02 grade point average. I was into a lot of bad stuff and just didn't take advantage of a lot of the great things that had been provided for me. I found myself in a construction job. I did construction for about 25 plus years. And for the last 4 years of that, I had my own construction company. So I started as a laborer. I started digging ditches. I've dug sump crocks. I've backfilled foundations by hand. I've backfilled them with gravel. I've done just about everything that you can do in construction that you don't want to do. But as I got farther along in my career and I had my own business, it really allowed me to function in a way that I could do pretty much anything in the construction industry, right? So it expanded the foundation of my business. The downfall was I'm not a good businessman. I'm a people person, right? So every Thanksgiving, my entire staff got free turkeys that they could take home. Every Christmas, I gave away bonuses like I had money to spend, and I never had enough money left to pay for myself, right? The demographic that I worked with were second chance. All the framers that I hired, all the trim carpenters that I hired, the drywallers, you name it, they were all second chance. And one thing I learned through that work was the more I invested in those folks, the more I got back. The more that I gave back, the more they believed in themselves. The more they believed in themselves, they could accomplish what they wanted, right? When I sit here and I look out at you all, I know none of you are where you thought you would be when you were in high school, or maybe even younger, right? There's people in here who probably want to be a fireman. People in here probably want to be a medic. People in here want to be in construction, right? And so when I decided to move from construction into working in the nonprofit sector, I wanted to help people. That's the only reason that I'm doing this work. And when this position came open with Center for Employment Opportunities, where I am now, it gave me an opportunity to invest in people that I've always had a passion in working for, right? I'm not about giving handouts. I'm about joining hands with you and taking a journey with you. And that's through the crappy stuff, and that's through the good stuff. And so as an organization, the way that Center for Employment Opportunities is set up is that we work foundationally through transitional work, right? So when you get out, whether you care about me or not, the only thing that you're looking for is one of two things: provision, right? A paycheck, money, and stabilization, a house over your head in a place that you can go and you're not looking over your shoulder, right? Am I wrong? Right? So you don't really care about who I am, and that's okay. But what I do have is transitional work. I can put money in your pocket, and I can help you stabilize. And if I can help you do that, I'll earn your trust, right? And I'll earn the opportunity to be on your journey with you, right? So what do? We bring you in, we put you through a class. Everything that's worth having has to have a class, right? So we do a 4-day class. It's 3 hours a day from 9 to 12:30, so not 3.5. And we teach you basic life skills, right? So we're going to teach you how to put together a resume. We're going to teach you how to network. But most importantly, we're going to teach you how to talk about your conviction and not why you deserve a second chance, but why you've earned the right to have a second chance, right? Speaking to an employer and speaking to a parole board are two totally different things. When you're sitting in front of an employer, all you really got to do is show your commitment to work and that you're a changed man, right? And so we're going to give you the tools to do that. While you're going through that process, and after you go through this 4-day class, we employ you. So we will actually hire you to do our transitional work. So I have work crews that go out into the community. We do work for the Port Authority. We do work for private ventures, nonprofits. And right now we're doing landscaping, litter abatement, brush removal, demo work, construction, that type of work. And you'll do that for a period of about 75 to 90 days while we're working with you on trying to help you get a job in the private sector, like an actual career, right? The way that I'm viewing this program and the vision that I have for this program is I don't want to just stick you in a job. And I don't want you to just pull a paycheck. Because I guarantee you, if you're not in tune with that job, if you don't love what you're doing, you're going to flame out, you're going to burn out, and you're going to find something else to do. Yeah, go ahead. I'll get to that. So if I have diverse work crews, one doing landscaping, one doing construction work, one doing whatever else, over time you're going to begin to find something that you enjoy doing or that you have experience doing, right? And that typically will lead to some type of career for you, right? How many of you guys in here have dumped mud? How many of you guys have concrete experience? Framers, electricians, drywall, landscaping, right? So if I can get you plugged into something that you enjoy, the beauty of this is that you get to call and schedule on whichever crew you want to be on, right? So if you're like me, I hate shovels. If I got to dig down into something, I don't want to have anything to do with it. So you won't see me on a landscaping crew because I do not want to dig holes. So I would sign up for the construction crew every week, okay? So our goal really is to get you on a pathway to a job that you'll enjoy and that you can carry beyond our organization. So how does it work getting into the private sector? Well, we have someone that's employed with us that is in the community right now building relationships with employers. So they're actually creating leads for you, right? You guys heard of Career Builder, Indeed, all these job hunting websites. Well, we have somebody in place that's doing that work for you. So when we sit down and say, hey, this company has a job open, that's because we've created that job opening for you. So we take a lot of the search away. And when you go into that interview situation, we've pretty much set the table for you. All you got to do is eat. And so typically what I tell people is, if you get there and screw it up, it's on you, right? But there's a learning in that. There's always a learning in that. So if you do screw up your interview or if you don't get that job, we're going to figure out what went wrong because we're going to go talk to them and we're going to say, hey, what was it about this individual that you didn't like, right? And what can we do to help to make this person more marketable? So you're not on your own, right? With every failure, there's an opportunity, every one, okay? The pay, and you're all going to roll your heads at this, I know. What's the minimum wage in Ohio? Does anybody know? It's $8.15. $8.15 an hour, that's what I'm going to pay you. It doesn't seem like much, does it? But see, the thing is, we're a transitional company, right? We're a transitional organization. Our job is to help you stabilize. We don't want you to build a career at our organization. right? So if I pay you $10 to $12 an hour, that's going to be kind of cushy. Why is it cushy? Because you can call in and schedule to work whenever you want to, and you can call out whenever you want to. And at 10 to 12 hours, that's kind of nice. But if I pay you $8, $15 an hour, it's going to be just enough to help you get by, but not enough for you to make a living, because we don't want you to make a living with us. We want you to make a living out there in the community where you can make a difference, right? How many of you guys have kids? When you make your decisions, do you think about your kids? Think about the value that having a hardworking job has and the value that having your kids see you do that hard work has, right? This is an opportunity, maybe not even for yourself, but for your kids. This is an opportunity to provide them with seeing what hard work looks like, with seeing what it's like to pull an honest paycheck, maybe even make a difference in the community, and that's what we want to help you do. That's part of what CityLink Center does, okay? So once you get this job in the private sector, we'll keep tabs on you for about a year. We'll call you, make sure you're doing okay. Sometimes you get caught in this political stuff in your job, right? Like it happens to me too. I mean, sometimes I have a boss that I don't know quite how to take what she's saying to me, and sometimes I get a little snarky at her, right? And so just learning how politics work, learning what it's like to have a manager and a boss will help you through that, okay? The other piece that I left out actually, so when you're doing the transitional work for you, we'll actually issue a pay card to you, and you get paid every day. So every day you showed up for work at 3 o'clock that afternoon, you have money on your card. It comes out to like 47 bucks a day, okay? So you get paid every day. This money card will actually supply you with all the pay stubs that you need, so when it's time to file taxes, everything's set up for you, okay? We'll give you your first set of steel toe work boots. We'll give you a fluorescent yellow vest with our logo on the back. You get gloves, goggles, anything you need, okay? So you won't be without. So that's kind of the way the program is set up. You know, it's an opt-in program. We'd love to have you. We've been around for, as an organization, we've been around for 30 years. We started in New York City. Now we have like 15 or 16 locations throughout the country. Cincinnati is the first location in Ohio. There's one coming to Columbus and Cleveland as well. So we're pretty excited about that. But again, I took this position as the director because I want to be able to provide opportunities like I did when I was in the private sector with my own business. There's a lot of good workers out there. There's a lot of guys out there that want to make a difference, and we want to help you get there. You don't have to come to my program. You don't have to make $8.15 an hour. There's a lot of other opportunity out there, I'm sure, but we'd love to have you because you're not going to get the same level of support out there in the private sector that you would from us. I can promise you that every time you fall down, if you're willing, we'll pick you up, we'll dust you off, and we'll help you figure out how to get to the next step. So, okay? Do you want me to field questions now, or, yeah, questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So you said the transitional job usually lasts before you could try to find a career type of job in 90 days?
Yeah, so we think that if you're working on our crews for longer than 75 days, so we're talking 90 calendar days, 75 working days, we're doing something wrong, right? Like we're not helping you along hard enough, or we're not creating enough job leads for you. But like we had one guy come in, he worked on our transitional crew for 2 weeks, and he's already out in the private sector working for AWP, driving a flag truck. So if we feel like you're ready to move into the private sector right away, like you can sit in front of somebody and talk about your conviction, talk about what happened and how you're ready to move on. If we feel like you're ready for that, we're going to put you in the private sector and get you supported right away. So it can be shorter, but that's on you and on us. Because if it, like I said, if it gets to the higher end of the days, I feel like we're doing something wrong. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah.
Is this the same CityLink building right there on Central Parkway?
Yes. Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Now, what is the name of the program inside? What is your program?
So the name of our program is Center for Employment Opportunities. So do you know about CityLink Center? Yeah. Okay. So CityLink Center started in 2012. When they opened their doors to the public, the membership criteria was generated by Cincinnati Works. Do you guys know who Cincinnati Works is? I worked there. So I've worked there since the day that building opened. Cincinnati Works does not have a track record on working with second chance demographics. Therefore, CityLink was kind of handcuffed by Cincinnati Works' requirements for entry. right? Because Cincinnati Works' policy, and rightfully so, was if we don't have employers on the other end that are willing to work with this demographic, then essentially by accepting you into our program, we're promising you a job that we can't deliver on. So we're setting a false expectation. So CityLink got a reputation, I know they did because I'm in the community, for being more exclusive than they were inclusive, right? Do you guys know where CityLink Center is? Have you heard this before? Well, by Center for Employment Opportunities coming in, that pool has gotten larger because now we can serve the population that quite frankly probably needs it the most, right? And CityLink is now able to meet the needs more of the community, and we're able to start bringing in more folks. So was that where your question was going? Yeah.
When you show up, you just say, hey, look, I want to
Yeah, so this,
for the program, if the guy brought me to the correction facility, or
the way I see it working, right, is so I'm talking to POs, I'm talking to state level folks, right? I'm in here talking to you guys. My goal is, you don't even have to remember my name, but if you go sit in front of your PO and you get out of here and you say, hey, there was this bald dude that came in here and talked to us about some CEO and I want to be a part of that. If I'm doing my due diligence, that PO is already going to know about our organization. And if there are two of you thinking that this is a good move, I've done my job. And that's all my job is getting you guys connected with people that want the best for you and that, you know, are going to look out for you. And so, you know, when you get out of here, that should be your first thing. When I get out of here, I want to go to talk to people at CEO. They'll refer you with all of your information, the PO number, everything, and we'll get you into the system. It's that simple. Yeah.
When I get out, I'm gonna be on my mental health case load, getting disability, but I also have cooking skills and baking skills that I would like to pursue. And that's my area because I've been cooking in
Yeah.
the restaurant business all my life.
Yeah.
So I wonder, do y'all work with guys on disability and stuff like that?
I'm going to yeah, we do. We didn't used to, but we do. But yeah, so CityLink just started a thing called City Kitchens, which is pretty awesome, and Monica will talk about that. Yeah, when you come in there, you state what you want to do. And if I don't, like, I don't know, if you tell me that you want to ride a bicycle into Circus, if I don't have any connections, I promise you I'll go get one. That's a promise. And if I don't live up to that promise, I expect you to be in my office at my desk asking me why I didn't live up to my promise. That's what this is about, okay? I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, but I also expect you to be honest about what you need and what you want. Because I can't help, nobody can help if you're not honest about what you need. There isn't a single person in this room that can do it on their own, and I promise that to you, because I've tried, trust me. I'm going to be 50 in August. It took me 45 years to figure that out. Okay? We want to help you. We want to build into you. There are so many resources available to you, but you have to be open and vulnerable about where you're at, and you have to be willing to come into my office and hold me accountable as well. That's how we get things done, right? Questions? Yeah. So I'm going to leave cards. I'm assuming that's okay. I'm going to leave cards if you want one. Like I said, when you get out, you take that card and you lay it on that PO's desk and you say, this is where I want to go. And we will make it happen for you. If it does not happen for you, my cell phone number's on that card. You call me and I will make sure it happens for you, right? Because we know how things can get, right? I don't want you to get caught in a bunch of stuff. I'll move the stuff out of your way if you want to be there. If you don't want to be there, I don't want to hear about it. It's okay. My program's not for everyone, and that's okay. But I promise you, if you give us a chance, I will make it worth your while. I promise you. And again, if I'm not, come in my office and tell me, and I will fix whatever's broken. Okay? Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, yes. Yeah, oh yeah, Cincinnati Cooks, it's an amazing program. Cincinnati Cooks is an amazing program. Yes. Again, if you come in and say you want to start your own business, I don't know, let's say you work on our transitional crew and you find that landscaping is where it's at, man, you want to cut grass. And then you say, hey, I want to start my own business. The first thing I'm going to do, since I've done it, is I'm going to try to talk you out of it. But then if I can't talk you out of it, I will connect you with folks that can help you do that. There's a great organization in town called Mortar, right? All you got to do is go to them with an idea. They'll help you brand that idea. They'll help you name that idea. They'll help you fund that idea. They'll help you figure out how to do the taxes for that idea. And pretty soon you're going to be doing that idea as a living. And then, and as you struggle, I'm going to tell you, I told you so. Okay? Whatever you want to do, like I said, if you want to ride a unicycle in the circus, I'll get it done for you. I don't know where because Barnum and Bailey is going out of business, but I'll figure something out. Okay? Anything you want to do. And that's why I asked you the question in the beginning. Like, how many of you wanted to do this? How many of you wanted to do this? Right? I couldn't have said that, at the age of 16-year-olds that I'd be standing up here doing this. But I can tell you that when I was a senior in high school, I was voted the easiest to talk to. And I think that kind of ties into this. When it happened, when I got that award, I was like, this is the dumbest award ever. Like, they just come up with this so that Doug could get an award? But I'm realizing that back, whatever that was, 29 years ago, God was trying to tell me something. It just took me 45 years to figure it out, okay? We're here because we want to help you figure that out. We're going to give you work to help you figure that out, and we're going to surround you with people to help you figure that out. You just got to be willing. That's it. Okay?
So what CityLink is? CityLink is it's a social service agency. Many of you guys probably passed through some social service agencies over the course of the time and kind of felt like, well, maybe they just don't do what they say. Well, I would ask you guys to challenge us as well. CityLink was created, just like Doug said, in 2012 when a bunch of different individuals got together and felt like people in the community of Cincinnati was not being, their needs weren't being taken care of. And so they called in an organization by the name of NEK Foundation, and they proposed that, why don't we do something different with our social service agencies? Why don't we create a one-stop shop approach? And so out of these brainstorming sessions, several church leaders in the community and a lot of individuals in the community, Mark Mallory was one, and they got together and they said, well, we're going to do that. We're going to create a place where individuals can come and can just be who they are. It didn't matter what you had on the back end. It didn't matter where you wanted to go. But if you wanted to move forward in your goals, then we create this place. CityLink is a co-located model. That means that everything that you need is in one place. Doug talked a little bit about CEO. CEO is new, however, but CEO is there to appeal to the population of individuals returning from prison. Then we have Cincinnati Works, who does our employment for individuals who don't have such challenges. Then we have financial education to help individuals learn how to manage their money. That's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to always learn how to manage my money. So that's kind of like my favorite program there. Who don't want to know how to save and invest a little bit? And then we have your education programs. We have GED, we have IT training program. And so there's an abundance of things in this one place so that you don't have to jump from place to place. One of the things that we notice is transportation is a barrier. So having everything in one place just made sense, right? In addition to all the services that you can get there, we also have dental, optical, wellness, exercise. Everybody want to exercise nowadays. It's a new trend. So we have all these things in one place, and with the hope of moving people forward. We don't have no judgment. Everyone comes through a program. They go through an info session. If you're there for CEO, you'll get the same processes that everybody else gets. So the process is you come in for an info session. After you have an info session and you learn about all the things that we have to offer, you get to sit down with a service coordinator. I'm one of the service coordinators, just a different name for a social worker. And our time is real sensitive, and it's real special to me, because one of the things that I get to do in there is I get to sit down and say, what is it that you want to do? I know you just came from PCI, Lebanon, or wherever you're coming from, but what is it that you want to do going forward? And we take an hour or so or longer if you need to, and we sit down and we make a plan. We make a plan that's not my plan. It's not what somebody else's plan is for you. It's your plan. And then I get to be calling you every day saying, where you at? Cheering you on when you actually get the job through CEO. Making sure that if you need private transportation, that we connecting you with our partners in the community so that you can drive again. Helping you face any barrier that you have coming in, whether that's child support, whether that's getting your license back, whether that's making sure that you have SNAP benefits, making sure that your medical is together. We do that part for CEO. And so we're one big family. There's nothing off limits there for you all. We love everyone the same. You will never find anything different. I am a little tough sometimes once you get in there because I want to see you succeed, right? I have several friends that have passed through this journey, several. And I got a couple of them here today. But there's nothing that us, the social workers, Danny, Doug, and his crew, that we can't do to make it possible. So I just echo what Doug has said today, that if you give us a chance and you challenge us to help you keep moving forward and not to be able to return, then we'll do that. I can guarantee you. I'm doing it every day for individuals who are just like you. You know, I'm picking up the telephone to care enough to say, I ain't seen you in the center a couple of days. Where you been? What's going on? And if you open and if you're vulnerable, just like Doug said, and you share what it is, there's probably something that we can do to push that barrier out of the way to get you back on track. So CityLink is right there at 800 Bank Street, right in the West End. It's been there for the last 5 years now. It's going to continue to be there. It's such a unique program. The most amazing thing about CityLink that I can say, and I can leave you with this, is that it's volunteer fueled. There are only 16 of us who work there. The rest of the individuals come in from their day-to-day work experience. They take days off. They spend their vacations with you guys and us there. They retired and they work 40 hours. Some of them, they're a lot more than me. And that's just an amazing thing to see people in your community be able to pour out. They don't get paid. They don't get paid one dime to come in there, but they enjoy making sure that individuals are moving forward. So if you're ready to move forward when it's time for you to come home, you can contact Doug, you can contact me, but 800 Bank Street, right there in the West End, and you can't miss the building. You can't miss the building, all right?